Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of Days Podcast along with a new video. I want to thank you guys so much for liking, subscribing, viewing, watching, and listening. I truly appreciate it. I wanted to continue on talking about, of course, more music, and I would love for you guys to check out Patreon and Spotify. I know I have been saying that there will be more episodes exclusively on both platforms. I am working on it, and I will be sure to make sure you guys have that along with free content as we are doing right now. So without further ado, we are going to talk about SZA's SOS, but not just SZA's SOS. We're also going to talk about Lana. So yes, we're getting into it. Both the sense of SOS as opposed to Lana, which is a part of SOS to persevere forward. Okay, so let's get into it. So SOS is the second studio album by American singer-songwriter SZA. It was released on December 9th, 2022 by Top Dog Entertainment and RCA Records. The album features guest appearances from Dawn Tolliver, I believe that says Phoebe Bridges, Travis Scott, and the late Old Dirty Bastard. SZA worked with a variety of record producers and songwriters such as Babyface, Jeff Basker, Rob Bezel, Benny Blanco, Dark Child, DJ Dye, Ant Clemens, and Lizzo. It serves as the follow-up to SZA's debut album Control, which came out in 2017. So if you haven't already, please check out my Control video where I do talk about SZA's Control debut album, pretty much where she wanted us to really know who she is and who she was, to pretty much show us, you guys get what I mean. Just a debut is a debut, and she's come a long way. It's been over a decade now, child. It's been, she's been around. So 6 singles were released between 2020 and 2023 to promote SOS, 5 of which were top 10 hits on the US Billboard Hot 100. The 5th, Kill Bill 2023, was SZA's first song to top the Billboard Hot 100 and Billboard Global 200's chart. The 6th, Snooze 2023, was the only song to chart on the Billboard Hot 100 for all of 2023. The album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, SZA's first to do so, and broke the record for the largest streaming week for an R&B album in the US. The album spent 12 non-consecutive weeks atop the chart, making it the longest-running number 1 female album of the decade at the time, and the first R&B album to spend its first 7 weeks atop the chart since Whitney Houston's Whitney. To promote the album, SZA embarked on the international SOS tour from February 2023 to May 2024. So, yes, upon release, SOS received widespread critical acclaim for its eclectic sound and SZA's vocal delivery. Several media publications ranked it as one of the best albums of 2022 and 2023. At the 66th annual Grammy Awards, the album and its tracks received a total of 9 nominations, including Album of the Year and 1 Best Progressive R&B Album. Additionally, the album has been featured on both Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Albums of All Time and Apple Music's 100 Best Albums. The album's reissue, subtitled Lana, was released on December 20th, 2024, and adds a guest appearance from Kendrick Lamar. So, yes, as I said, we're going to talk about both. Reading into the background of, where she was as far as with this album, she alluded to potentially releasing her second album as early as August 2019. Okay? So this album was 3, 4 years, 5 years, damn near 6 years, because we into 2025 now. This was already something she wanted already, like back to back. And just at the time, you know, from what I'm seeing here, she commented on the creative process behind the album and stated it would be as candid and personal as Control. This next album is even more of me being less afraid of who I am, when I have no choice, when I'm not out trying to curate myself and contain. Yes. And she had plans to work with a lot of different collaborators at the time. In January 2020, SZA posted a status update about the album's completion online. When asked by a fan on Twitter whether new music was coming soon, she replied that she and Punch had been discussing a potential release date scheduled for 2020, and she felt anxious about the build up to that day. And I can honestly say I can remember in, you know, pre-pandemic, when not just her tweets, but tweets in general, like a lot of people, and still are very active online, where they are, you know, voicing, you know, updates or, you know, cryptic messages, things like that. Yes. And you know, there were delays. After fans grew impatient with the release delays, SZA responded by venting her frustrations on Twitter in August 2020. And she did. She really was like over it. And little did we know we would get such a great album from just so much of just trying to just it's not even to perfect, it's just to make sure it can be just right. Yeah. Well, so alleging that the label was the reason for the postponement, she affirmed one fan's suspicion that she had been having hostile interactions with Top Dog, and when someone showed her a post from Punch saying that the album would be released soon, SZA replied with, "This is all he says to me as well, welcome to my fucking life." In response, fans created the Twitter hashtag #FreeSZA in support of her struggles, and the trend went viral. However, she later retracted her claims by deleting the post and said, "Don't nobody need to free me. I'm not being held hostage, and neither is my music. Sometimes you gotta be patient. Sometimes no is a blessing. I trust the people around me." So SZA quarreled with Top Dog executives over his 2-year delay and threatened to quit music because of it. So, you know, there was friction. There was conflict. Not that I'm in the room and saying, oh my God, there's things bad happening. Like, I'm saying, like, there was a sense of, I want things this way, and it wasn't happening that way at that time. And that happens a lot in labels and with artists. And I'm not subjecting you guys to feeling like, okay, this is a SZA thing. Like, no, you can date back in the early 1900s when they was really making music and had live instruments, and you had to see them. Okay, it wasn't let's just download here on Apple Music, you know, let's put the album on because I got my subscription. No. When you wanted to really see an artist, you had to see them. If they had vinyls, you wanted to purchase them. There wasn't CDs and, you know, and then when they had live performances, you wanted to be in there if you really loved them, because they could have notifications on a bulletin board or something. Like, it wasn't like you can just, let's Google and see when they're gonna tour. There was never any of that back in the day. I mean, even back in the 80s, it was really like, you know, you gotta listen on the radio and you gotta really, you know, peep in on the dates of when they're really gonna be out, like artists in general. So, and even down to movies and stuff and shows too. Like, there was a lot of different things that has definitely evolved over time when it comes to that. So the release date continued to be delayed, and SZA once more argued that Top Dog and RCA were responsible for it. The album would contractually be her last to be released through the labels. Okay. In October, she said that she had written around 100 songs for the album and added that the album could be released any day now. So, and that's another thing too. And I said this in the not the SOS, the Control video, which again, check it out. Artists, and I've said this in a few other videos too. Artists make a lot of songs. Sometimes artists will make about 4 or 5 songs in a day. Like, it all depends on the vibe, where you're going with it, and what you use with the time, you know? And I think that when you make so many songs, a lot of times some songs that could be from one era could be, you know, retracted and just being like, you know, it can go into the next era or the era after that. You never know, because you got so many songs. It may just piece into something that you really want to convey. And I feel her on that. I do. Yeah, from April to May 2022, SZA told media outlets that she had recently finished the album in Hawaii, describing it as her most relatable or unisex body of work she had made to date. Yeah, the release date was in October. She said that she had written, yeah. I just was looking at that. Yeah. Okay, so during a Billboard cover story published in November, SZA released the title of her second studio album was SOS, scheduled for release sometime next month. Which, okay, in the sequence, we know that's accurate. So it's like, all right, within the next month, we're going to have a SZA album. She expressed her frustration with complying with music industry standards or on promoting music, saying that she had been stressed with meeting her deadlines. On December 3rd, 2022, she appeared on Saturday Night Live and announced it would be released on December 9th. 2 days later, she posted the track list on Twitter. And so, again, there was a lot of collaborators, instances in the album that, you know, I know myself, I was happy that she touched upon, that, you know, you hear an R&B, but you don't always hear. And I'll be able to explain that with track names in a second. Yeah, so SOS is a multi-genre album, and many of the songs are combinations of R&B, hip-hop, and alternative pop. It also incorporates influences of folk, indie rock, and electronica music. The album samples sound references from soul, gospel, jazz, and melodic rap. Yeah, melodic, okay. SZA told Billboard that the sound of the album is a varied palette, drawing on surf rock and grunge in parts alongside her beloved lo-fi beats. It runs for an hour and 7 minutes, and according to the griot, it follows the tendency started by Chris Brown's 2017 album Heartbreak on a Full Moon of lengthier albums in the music streaming era. So yeah, and as far as with Chris Brown's Heartbreak on a Full Moon, which we can talk about, that album was a double disc, consisting of 45 songs. So considering that Lana, which I didn't forget, guys, I'm still here, looking at the Lana songs before we even dip back, there's 15 extra songs on top of, 15 on top of 23. Never mind the web store bonus tracks, which are 2 more songs, which makes it 25. So that makes it 40. Okay? She gave us 40 songs. I'm speaking as of 2024 and even into 2025, because she says she's going to possibly, you know, remix and remaster, you know, some of the tracks and add a little bit to them to make sure, you know, we hear more. Because, you know, I didn't notice that you can do that now. You can just swap the audio. I didn't know you can do that. Well, not even swap it, but you can kind of, I don't know what they do, but supposedly, you know, certain mixes can be adjusted. That's cool. But yeah, looking at the track list now for both sides, it's like, yes, she really, she gave us a lot of music with this era here. Because it's like an era of an era to continue on to a new era. For me, that's what it's giving. And it's not a bad thing. I think that Lana may have, a lot of people want to say Lana is its own album. Like, it's a new album from an album that's consisted of that album. Could they be right? Could they be wrong? Do you want my opinion? So my opinion, what I feel like with Lana, and as she said, I feel like this is me giving more of me for the next era of me, and that's only right. Like, and if that's pretty much the same thing, I mean, I'm not gonna disagree. I think that if Lana was a new album, that she said, you know what, I want it to be a part of the SOS era, I'm okay with it. If Lana is literally part of SOS as opposed to where we're going to get a whole new era, I'm okay with that too. It can go either way. I love it. That's just me. But yes, she won Album of the Year for the BET Awards. She won, I'm sorry, my tone. I know I could be silly sometimes. Billboard Music Award. She won for 2023 Top R&B Album, 2023 Soul Train Music Awards Album of the Year. She won she won one Grammy as far as for Best Progressive Album, which we did talk about. iHeartRadio Music Awards R&B Album of the Year, she won that. Juno Awards International Album of the Year, she won that as well. It did really well. It did really well. Let's see, what else was I gonna say? Yeah, critics were really loving it. Widespread critical acclaim upon its release, okay, which assigns a normalized rating out of 100 based on reviews from critics. The album received a score of 90 out of 100 based on 20 reviews indicating universal acclaim. So when she says, damn right, I'm the one, they felt that. Everybody I felt it. Shit. Yeah. The fuck you mean? Okay. I heard the album, you know, and that's one thing I love with you guys. Like, you guys know every video, like, when I make references to certain things and y'all get it like right away, like, wait a minute, no, he heard it. Like, yes, I was here, I was with y'all, I'm still with y'all in the music too. Let me get into the track list. All right, so track 1, SOS. Track 2, yeah, that's where I got it from. Damn right, I'm the one. Yes, period. Track 2, Kill Bill. Track 3, Seek and Destroy. So I've been meaning to dissect these first 3 songs right here. SOS, you know, you're really sitting back like, just, oh my God, just, I'm like, this is an intro. The intro is the title track. Yes. And then Kill Bill, you know, that's, we going in, we getting in there. We getting into the album now, you know, and she said herself, she was like, this didn't take much for me, and y'all love this. And honestly, and I'm happy she had said later, like, sometimes the work that you don't always feel like you're doing as much work is the work that people be loving the most. And it's crazy, but it's really the truth. Like, sometimes you don't have to always work as hard or to try to be seen as much for people to really appreciate you. It's a real thing. You don't have to always be, get into my fucking face. Like, no. You can just be like, hi guys. You know, like, you can be chilling. Seek and Destroy. And not to get off the Kill Bill aspect, I thought it was a great song. It still is a great song. It went #1 for a reason. Seek and Destroy, I was feeling like this could have been in a top 10. You know, I was like, wait a minute. I had to do it to you. Like, she was feeling it, okay? And then Low, same thing. I love Low. You could really just be bumping that song. Just don't be fast driving with Low. I know you guys be tempting to, but no, just be chilling. Okay? But, like, it's a great song. Love Language. we all have those relationship, friendship, just understanding type of deal. When I say friendship, I'm not saying like, I be wanting people to know it's okay to have friends. It's okay to get to know people. And it's okay to understand that a love language isn't just for relationships. You can have a love language being like, me and my best friend love Kingdom Hearts. Or me and my best friend love having, pizza. Or, there's just certain things that, you can show appreciation for. And yes, I made a gaming reference because I do have a gaming channel. You can check it out. But anyway, Blind, track 6. She was letting people know that she don't want to not have a clear focus or a clear sight of what's going on in her life, with whoever she may have been with at the time. There's just times you don't want to just be doing things, and it's like, well, wait a minute. We arguing and doing things. We happy and doing things. We arguing and doing things. There's just times you just want to have a clear sense of just being like, this my man, or this my woman, or this who I'm with, and I'm happy. You don't want to always just be feeling like, well, shoot, is things gonna go left now? No one wants to always have that. And there's instances of that, even into the Lana side of things. Okay, we still going. Let's keep going now. All right, so Used, featuring Don Toliver. I love this song. It's very chill. I love, and I was meaning to say this in the Control album as well. She does have instances of showing her family, in interludes or transitions, and I love that. It makes you feel that you're, in a room with SZA and really sitting with her and really having a conversation. And I love that when artists can be able to really give you that feel, which brings us to Snooze, which I feel like Snooze really did a great thing. Like it let a lot of people know how much they love to be serenaded. Still, I think that it's okay to serenade. It's okay to let somebody know how much you really want them and really don't want to lose them. It doesn't make you less of a person, and doesn't make you weak. Like, it's okay to be vulnerable, for the right people and for the right times. There's times where, we got things to do. It's okay. But then you can have that eye contact where it's like, I see, I know, we'll work on that. It's okay. And then that brings me to the next song, Notice Me. And I think I myself, this is one of my favorite songs on the album. And why is because, yeah, it's very relatable. What do you mean, this and that and all these things is on your mind, but what about me? I'm sitting here making sure things is this and that. Maybe I need to go ahead and do this and that. You don't need nobody else. The fuck you doing? That's what she was. Listen, the way you move gonna get you hurt. We can't even speak to each other half the damn time. She was really letting people know. And I don't think a lot of people was really ready to hear that much honesty, because a lot of times it's always the, oh, well, no. I'm gonna address this here right now. Notice what the okay? Let me stop swearing. Let me keep going. So Gone Girl, it's a ballad, very sentimental. And I think that's what was also letting people know, like, she could do ballads. She's been doing ballads. Smoking on My X-Pac. That's a great interlude too, okay? Ghost in the Machine. I love this song. I love listening to this song, especially if I'm like, it's really great to hear, whether it's during the day or even at night. I think at night it makes it real magical. I think during the day it makes you really motivated, and there's just like, I love when songs can do that. F2F, good song too. I love that song. Nobody Gets Me, and then Conceited. I think most artists do have a song like Conceited, whether it's titled Conceited or just giving the essence of just fuck it. You see who I am. I don't have to be like that or do this. I know who I am. and every time I'm a bet on me. I'm not betting on that bitch. I'm not betting on that nigga. I'm a bet on me. Fuck whatever else. And I love that. Who else am I going to do for besides my fucking self? Okay. 16 Special. I like that song a lot. Too Late. That's a good song. Mid-tempo. Now Far, track 18. So what we just went through, let me keep y'all intact here. So yes, track 11 was Smoking on My X-Pack. And of course track 10 was Gone Girl. Track 12 is Ghost in the Machine. Track 13 is F2F. Track 14 is Nobody Gets Me. Track 15 is Conceited. Track 16 is Special. Track 17 Too Late. Track 18 is Far. Far feels like, for me, when I listen to Far, it's almost like I look at myself and kind of say to myself, like, there isn't anything you need to really always yearn for or feel like you need to always have. Like, you are you, and you can, this was her sense of Far, and not even just her sense, but her wanting the world to know what Far is about was a real deal for me, because she starts it off with, how do I deal with rejection? Like, how do you deal with it? How do you deal with someone telling you no? And it don't gotta be like a no, like I hate you, or like I don't like you. Sometimes rejection can be like, you called and you didn't get through, or a text didn't go through, or you're talking with someone and as you're talking with them, they're not understanding. How do you deal with it? But if you only have you to worry about, that's not logical. There's all things to worry about. There's people you care about that you worry about, and I feel like this was a nice, broad, and very, very, very sensual way of just being able to show people that sometimes I do feel like disassociating, like just I don't know who I always am at times. I think this was a very very great way of showing that. You don't want to ever let anyone make you feel that you're on like your last strand of who you are, as opposed to so much that you've given. And I know that a lot of people exaggerate and be feeling like, well, I'm at that point. And it's like, well, it's already been about 10 plus years. Like, when have you not been at that point? There's that. Like, I'm with y'all. Like, there do be people like that. But this right here is letting people know, like, I'm close to my breaking point of wanting to understand why these conflictions or complications keep happening. But what do I do? And, one of the best ways of what was told in this song was, if nobody wants you, you're free. And it's true. God damn it, if nobody wants me but me, I am so free, because I ain't got to worry about nobody but me. Ain't nobody paying me no mind. I can't say for everybody else. But if you're worried about who wants you and who has you, and if they don't have you, and if they do have you, that's a lot to worry about. So, let's continue. There's still track lists to go through. Yes, so track 19 is Shirt, which I think is a very nice song too. I love Shirt. 20, Open Arms, featuring Travis Scott. I thought that this was a very good ballad as well. 21, I Hate You. Now if you wonder if I hate you. Yes. I do. Let me stop. And then that's track 21. Track 22 is Good Days. Yeah, track 21 and track 22, you know, they coincide together. I'm glad that she put them back to back because they were singles. And at the same time, you do sometimes want the singles to be a little bit closer to the album tracks to make them kind of flow. Or even if they got to be right next to each other. Either way, people need to know they're there. 23 is Forgiveness, featuring Old Dirty Bastard. It was a great ending track, I will say that. The bonus tracks, PCA, along with Open Arms being the solo version, just her by herself. So that was track 24 and 25 respectively. But yes, the album did really well. And of course, I'm very proud of her. I'm very proud of all of what she's been able to do in her career so far, okay? But yes, as far as with overall Billboard chart, she broke several accomplishments and broke a series of records. And yeah, fueled by a 5-year wait for its release, it debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 with 318,000 album units. And yeah, its first week figures included 404.58 million on-demand official streams, which broke the record for the biggest streaming week ever for an R&B album and gave SOS the second largest streaming week for an album by a woman. SOS remained at the top at the top 10 for 10 non-consecutive weeks in 2022 and into 2023, and became the chart's then longest-running number 1 album for a woman in the 2020s, the first album by a woman to top the chart for at least 10 weeks since Adele's 25, which was 2015 to 2016, the first R&B hip-hop album to do so since Drake's Views 2016, and the first R&B album by a woman to do so since Mariah Carey's self-titled debut in 1991. Okay, so it really did really well. Well, this album has really been doing really well, I should say, because it's not done yet. We're still gonna keep going. You know, it's been a while since I gave you guys a long video like this, huh? Let's keep going. So yes, Lana, written fully as SOS Deluxe, Lana is the reissue of SOS 2022, the second studio album by American singer-songwriter SZA. Is released in December. It was released on December 20th, 2024. Through Top Dog Entertainment and RCA Records. It features a single guest appearance from Kendrick Lamar. The album was supported by the singles Saturn, BMF, and 30 for 30. So, soon after the release of her highly acclaimed and commercially successful second album, SOS, SZA began teasing a deluxe edition with a postscript at the end of an Instagram post, where she thanked everyone who helped make the album possible. Reportedly composing the track list were 10 songs intended for the standard edition, per the information SZA told in January 2023 and Billboard in February. Later in September, she revealed Lana as the deluxe album's title. Snippets of several songs from the SOS sessions, like the SoundCloud release Joni 2021, has been on the internet for years prior to the announcement, despite persistent calls from SZA and her fans to include certain highly awaited outtakes on the album. Her record label's president, Punch, disagreed. This led to SZA's decision to put Lana on, to put them on Lana instead. Some time after, she added to the track list some songs that were recorded post SOS. One was the 2023 recorded Diamond Boy. So, yes. and we know that she recorded over 100 songs, so it was just a matter of just kind of seeing, you know, what do I want to touch up, what do I want to really make new, and what do I want out, and why not? Yeah. By the day of the Grammys, SZA told the Hollywood Reporter, this was for 2024, this was just last year, that the album was still shaping itself as she let her voice follow whatever the album's frequency was. Though she refused to disclose more details, she reasoned that doing so would change her creative direction for the album. And that's true. In a lot of cases, like, you don't want to always give the aesthetic and title in a way where it's already being formed for perception to be given what they want it to be seen, as opposed to what you're gonna give. You know, you don't want to. You want to leave some type of mystery going on. But yes, guys, it was released. Although it was pushed from midnight, to 3 p.m. due to final changes to the album's mixing. Because I was waiting at midnight. I said, wait a minute, where's the album? Well, where's the deluxe? I was waiting. On December 10th, in celebration of SOS's second anniversary, SZA posted a trailer on social media accompanied by a track that samples the Isley Brothers' Voyage to Atlantis. And we find out it was Kitchen. In the video, she is known walking in the forest where, she's relieving herself by the stream. Okay. The trailer closes with an overlaid text of Lana's title appearing above the words SOS Deluxe. Previously, Lana and the Deluxe edition were supposed to be different from each other. So originally we was gonna have Lana Deluxe. What she did is fuse them together. And to be honest with you, whatever Lana would be, as I was saying earlier, as far as independently, I don't feel we wouldn't not have the same impact. Like, I feel like we would, sorry, let me make sure I phrase this correctly. I feel like we would have the same impact, and it would be just as great with it being separate as opposed to it being a part of an SOS Deluxe. And I say this because there was already a wait, there was already anticipation. So it was already a win-win from what I can see. Like, if she was to just be like, all right, here's Lana. The way that this album went number one, well, this deluxe, you kind of say to yourself, all right, well, they just missed you. Clearly, for me, that's what I'm seeing. Because, you know, like I said, it could have went either way, and I would have loved it either way because it was good. It's still good. But yeah, let's look at the track list. Well, actually, no, let's look at the performance of it. So in the United States, Lana's first week streams and downloads helped return SOS to number one on the Billboard 200. Billboard noted that with its album units alone, Lana would have debuted atop the chart if it were released as a separate album, earning 105,000 first week streaming and tracking equivalent album units. With the reissue, SOS claimed its 11th non-consecutive week at number one, 22 months after the 10th, the March 4th, 2023 dated chart. It therefore broke the record for the longest gap between weeks at number one in the history of the chart. I didn't even look at it. Y'all watched me scroll. Like, I didn't even know. Like, sometimes. And you know what? And I'm going to speak for mediums and those that, you know, may be really spiritually inclined. If you really are spiritually inclined and you see something and it really be going on, that really be what really be going on. I'm not going to hold y'all. Like, I really won't. Like, but just, if you doing it in great practices where you helping the people in the world, because there's a lot going on that we really don't be knowing what's going on, like, I support that. But y'all literally just watched me just say, before I even scrolled down, like, the way that the impact was for this reissue, even if it was a separate album, it was giving number one because people were waiting so much. They were waiting to, like, they still made it as though even at 3 p.m. you're going number one. Okay? Like, it's just like, you know, that says a lot. Like, even if it was a separate album and it was pushed, I think it would still do, as like they said, it would still do good because of the fact that it even was attached to begin with. It's new music for the public. Maybe not fully to her because, you know, she knows her music, but still. But yes, let's look at the track list now. So yes, track 1 is No More Hiding. Okay, like she came in swinging with this too. Okay, just like with SOS, just kept going. And yeah, track 2, what do I do? Great song again. Great song. Track 3, 30 for 30. Now, you know, chat. Fold that bitch, no yoga mat. Let me stop. Yeah, she yeah. There was time to really be in the studio with this, and we hear it. Track 4, Diamond Boy, DTM. She's performed this live. There's a lot of people that would take snippets and make the sense of the song. I be on YouTube. I mean, look at what I'm doing right now. I be seeing when people be wanting things to kind of just be an actual thing, even if they gotta take snippets and make their own songs out of them. Listen, the artist gotta know. Listen, it was good, and she listened. Okay, she seen it. She performed it live, and she seen that the fans were like, "No, we put this together." To the point that if you don't remaster this song, we gonna be upset. Okay, because I was looking for Diamond Boy to be on there. I was like, wait a minute, Diamond Boy better be on there. Track 5, BMF. I think that's a great song. I can see a lot of commercials using this song, like a lot of like spring and summer, just like, or even just jewelry, or you know, just makeup and perfume. Like, it's a really like, it's really cute. I love this song. Track 6, Scorsese's Baby Daddy. Another vulnerable song by SZA, of course. I think that she did really well with this song, along with Love Me For Me, track 7. So track 7, I love the futuristic and just we don't often hear just instruments kind of just keep us in with synthesizers, and it just really matched. It matched, and SZA's really great for bringing us into like a fairy tale, you know, lo-fi, you know, just I love that with her. And to be honest with you, Megan be doing that too in rap, and y'all don't be here for it, but I'm gonna mind my business. Because Megan be definitely giving anime in Japan and futuristic, and, you know, just she be doing some things, okay? I'm not saying all female rap be doing things. Let me make that clear. I don't want nobody thinking I just don't give nobody credit. I give everybody credit. All female rappers do things that have charted and that have made success. Track 8, Chill Baby. I think that's a nice, cool vibe. I loved listening to that song too. My Turn, track 9. I think that's a very much, what's the best way of saying this? That's a very much direct song. Like, you know, you hurt me, I hurt you. Maybe you need to have that hurt too. Maybe you need to be the one to be feeling, you know, upset about what I did to you. Never mind me being upset for what you did to me and feeling like, oh, it wasn't that serious. You know, it was nothing. Yeah, let me do it then. Let me do it real well and make sure you know that it was nothing. You know, like, no one thinks to make these type of songs enough, and they're needed. You know, a lot of times it's not, whether it's relationships, this could just be regular people. It's just like, you know, I professionally, we ain't gotta hurt nobody. I'm saying professionally, I will show you. I'm gonna do what I need to do, and I know what I deserve in life. Okay. Cry Baby, track 10. A ballad, beautiful ballad, and the way it segues in and transitions into Kitchen, which is track 11. One thing I love about her SZA, she loves her Geminis. I love you too, SZA. Because Ronald Isley, oh, one of the best Geminis to ever do it. Okay? And you know, you have Kendrick in the beginning. So it's just, you know, but hey, there's a great deal when it comes to kitchen, because when you hear songs, whether they're from back in the day or even if they were 15 years ago, so 15 years ago would be 2010. So when you hear songs that you kind of say to yourself like, wow, they took a piece of this and really made it even more great, and I still hear the greatness of what it was before, like that means a lot. And it can make you emotional because it's like, where did the time go? And are these people seeing what we see as the public? And it's like, no, they see. They know. That's why they do this. They don't want to not give something within time. Okay. So yes, track 12, Get Behind Me. You don't know that I know you don't fuck with me, bitch. Like the way that started, I just was like, ooh. Like, ain't no niggas keep. Listen, she yeah, ain't nobody, nobody bringing her down. She just wanted everybody to know that's just not happening. Drive, I think track 13 for Drive is a great, meld things out from just that cute interlude, because y'all, she was letting y'all know, like, I be seeing the comments. I think that song is really, like, you know, even just for the sake of just how it starts, you can just instantly tell, like, no, she be seeing what everybody be saying. Sometimes, you know, even down to Beyonce, where it was like, I'm that girl, you know, it's not my man. It's not how I stand. It's just, I'm that girl. She said, you know, the artists be telling you what gotta listen. All right, so track 14, Another Life. That's a great song too. I'm not hearing enough people talk about that, or maybe I need to definitely pitch that song a bit. Track 15, Saturn. And I think that's something that we heard Saturn being, like, you know, one of the first singles, and it's the last song you hear. Because you would have thought Saturn would have been the first song you hear, but I think it was best that it was that way. Because, you know, the way that the track listing is, you have Saturn and then it goes right into SOS. So it's like, you go from Saturn to, damn right, I'm the one. It's just like, oh. You know, okay? But, and I'm not even trying to make that as like a reference to say, like, you know, that's one of the pinpoints of SOS, like that song. But I just, to go from starting the song with Supermodel, well, starting your debut album with Supermodel, to go into SOS, where it's just, you just, oh man. But yes, guys, I'm happy that she released this reissue. Whether it could have been an album, I'm grateful. And she said there's more music, and I can't say I disagree on that, because see, why can't she have another era already ready to go? Why not? You never know. Is she gonna be touring with Kendrick? I would love to go. I know most people have their tickets purchased. There's still tickets left. You know, if you're gonna go, go. But I want to say thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I truly appreciate it. This has been one of my longest videos, because usually videos this long be on Spotify and Patreon exclusively for a whole different aspect. But I said, you know what? We're gonna make a long video, and it almost gives a listen through. I didn't even have to put no music on. But, you know, of course, copyright. I don't want y'all having to worry about, well, you know, we wanted you to get monetized. And it's like, well, guys, I'm still trying to get there. I still gotta, but it's all right. But I want to say thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate it, and I'll be back with more.